Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of RiesKitchen. This is our second series focusing on cooking challenges, and today we're going to be making that winter classic pea and ham soup. So let's get started. We've probably got our simplest lot of ingredients ever here in front of us today. So I have 1 smoked ham hock, 400 grams of split peas. I'm using the yellow here, but you could use green. 1 brown onion chopped up, and enough water to cover. So now we get started. And the most important thing when making soup is our pot. Now here I have a stainless steel stock pot. You can see it's got a nice solid base, and the solid base helps evenly distribute the heat. So as it's sitting on the stove simmering, I'll get an even simmer and I won't get things caught most likely. Now you can have a tall, high stock pot. If you do, you'll end up with a thicker soup, and you'll understand why in a minute when I talk about adding our water. So here's the pot we're going to use today. And all we need to do is pop all of these ingredients in the pot and bring it to the boil. So let's start with our ham hock. Now, a ham hock is the shin of the pig, and this one has been smoked. It has a really smoky aroma to it, but we're going to boil this. We're not going to end up eating the skin. We're just going to be eating the meat out of it, but it'll add a lot of flavour into our pot. So pop that in. And then we add our split peas. Now the peas themselves have been dried, the shell removed during the processing, and the pea itself actually splits. Comes in yellow or green. I like the yellow one, probably just as much because that's the one my mum used, as it is for the green. High in fibre, high in protein, low in fat, so very nutritious. So we'll pop that into the pot. All right, now we just need to add our chopped onion and our water. All right, so now I just need to mostly cover this hock. Now I need just a little bit more water, so let's just go in. All right, that will be okay. So now just to give it a little quick stir to make sure that the split peas haven't stuck to the bottom. And with the lid on, we bring this up to the boil and then turn it down to a simmer for an hour and a half. Stirring occasionally to make sure it's not sticking. We don't need to add any more water. And we know that we're done when we touch the hock and we can feel that the meat is starting to come away from the bone. Then it's ready to go. So lid on and almost set and forget. So it's been an hour and a half, so it's time to check our soup and see if it's done. Oh, look at that. So what I'm checking for is the softness of the peas and are they cooked? And then I'm going to check to make sure that the skin is loose and beginning to come away from the hock. All right, so that's done. So now we'll turn the gas off, put the lid back on, and now we let this sit and come to room temperature, and then we pop it in the fridge overnight, so then we can finish the soup off in the morning. Can't wait. So, ready to finish off our soup. Oh, that's cold. Okay, so now we have had this sitting in the fridge for overnight, and so most of the fat has now risen to the top and solidified. So just like we did when we made our chicken stock in my earlier episode 1.6, it's just a matter now of lifting that fat off and taking it out before we lift our ham hock up. All right, I think I've pretty much got all of the fat out of there. So now we need to take our hock out of the water. Pop it on the plate. And so now we remove the skin, because that's still got a bit of a fat layer. We don't use the skin, that gets thrown out as well. And then we shred the meat to pop back into our soup. Okay, so all of that skin now with the fat we can just throw out. So if we give our pot a bit of a stir just to get all of the cooked split peas mixed through with our liquid. And these peas that have cut off the bone, I can just add back in. And so now we'll cut up our meat into really nice little bite-sized pieces and pop back into our soup. This gets a little bit messy, but it's certainly worthwhile. The meat is succulent and beautiful. Any gristly bits like that, we can just throw out. All right, so now we just keep cutting away until all the meat's taken off the bone, but as we go, we can just add that meat into the pot. All right, so I think I've pretty much got all the meat off this one. You can see the bone there. Now we've finished with that. So now I'm just going to pop all of the meat that we've chopped up into the pot. Give that a stir. So all that's left to do now is heat this up, ready to serve. It'll feed 6 to 8 people, depending on how hungry you are. I can't wait, I'm hungry. All right. All right, this is smelling absolutely divine. Give it a quick stir, it's boiling away, just perfect. So, ready to serve. Can't wait, always the best bit. So, my warm bowl. Now just make sure that everybody gets some of that wonderful ham hock. To the bowl. Just a little bit more because I'm hungry. Okay, perfect. Dash of cracked pepper on the top. And served with a lovely piece of homemade damper. For the recipe for the damper, check out episode 1.6 because that's got it there. Oh, can't wait. So for all the recipe details for the soup or for the damper, check out my blog on the link below. But as always, the best bit is in the tasting. Oh gosh, that's good. And it's going warm straight down to my toes on this frosty Melbourne winter's day. Until next time, everybody, ciao.